Hey, everybody, and good evening, and welcome to our show. It's called Tournament Horse Racing, and this is what we've done. Excuse me. My name is Rich Sharp. I'll be your host for tonight's show, and this is what we've done. We've taken the horse racing calendar. We've broken up into 4 separate horse racing tournaments throughout the year. Each of those tournaments consists of approximately 10 individual racing days, and that's actually what you're watching tonight. Is one of those individual racing days, which consist of 4 races. Each of our horse players is going to make a mythical $2 win place bet. Whoever wins the most money wins that day's horse racing tournament. Whoever wins the most money over those 10 horse racing days wins that tournament. We're in the middle of our second tournament for the year. This one's called, as you can imagine, it's the Triple Crown. And that's how we do it here on Tournament Horse Racing. Without further ado, let me go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in our analysts, our horse players, if you like, in no particular order. I'm going to start all the way over on the other side of the country tonight. He lives in Staten Island, New York. He's a good friend of mine. He's also a lifelong horse player. Ray Torado, what's going on? How you been, man? Happy Belmont Stakes Day.
Yes, I'm doing good. Very exciting week. This is one of the weeks that we always, you know,
Yeah,
be
we're in
happy
your,
about.
we're in
The
your
triple
backyard.
crown. We're in my backyard, and everybody, all eyes are on New York this week. So I'm
Yeah,
happy, very happy.
absolutely. Someday I will be in your backyard for this race. I promise.
Mm.
I promise. All right. Swinging all the way across the country. He's actually just a little bit to the north of me. He lives in Menifee, California. He's also a good friend of mine. He's one of our horse players as well. Stephen Newsom, how is life treating you, my friend?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Last day of school for the kids on Thursday.
Oh, how
That's
So,
good.
cool.
Mm.
so I took them out to dinner and went to a tapas grill there in Marietta across from Sam's Club
Oh, okay.
um, off of Marietta Hot Springs there. Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty good.
Down the street from me.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. And last but not least, all the way to here down to the south of me, he lives in Temecula, California. Joe English, what's going on, man?
I'm sorry, I have to laugh. Steve, it sounded like you said topless joint, and I was like, I know what you meant.
I think my two high
It's
school
kind of
daughters do
I
it.
was like,
topless.
I hope
No,
nobody
Tapanaki grill.
artists
Sorry,
aren't watching this.
Tapanaki.
Steve will get
Tapas.
arrested or whatever.
Yeah,
But
It's
I'm
a
Tapanaki
doing
good
great.
grill.
dinner.
I'm just exactly. What do you have for dinner? I'm just glad
Where's my invite?
that the skies in New York are blue and not yellow anymore.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
happy.
absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Oh, fantastic. All right. So those are the horse players for everybody. Uh, uh, I will give you a disclaimer before we get into tonight's events, and that includes the fact that Steve and Ray and Joe and myself, we're all horse players. We actually love the game of horse playing. We get together on a weekly basis to compete in this tournament just against ourselves. We actually compete for prizes, but we are not selling our picks. We are not endorsing our picks in any way, shape, or form. We hope you love the game of horse racing because we all do as well. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. And I'll show you what happened last week here on Tournament Horse Racing. This up here for you quickly. That's not what happened last week. That's what's going to happen this week on Tournament Horse Racing. But I will go ahead and bring up our scores. We actually took a trip down to Louisiana last week. Evangeline Downs has somehow made its way onto our calendar. I shouldn't say somehow. It's a nice racetrack, and we really enjoy playing down there. And as you can see there, if I can get my screen to go ahead and clear for you, that Steve was our winner. $21.40 put Steve Newsom, as a matter of fact, that's his third victory on this season. Manages to nose out Joe there and leaves me and Ray in the dust behind them. As you can see there, we all did manage to hit that one horse that was right there. Woods and Water was a very popular pick for all of us, but congratulations to Steve. And as you're going to see there, Steve is starting to nose away there, right? As we head down the stretch they come. We've just got, counting tonight's show, we've got 4 races to go. And Steve's got about a $30 edge. And the rest of us, those victories that are over on the side, that only counts in the event of a tiebreaker. So we are headed over to the Belmont Stakes today, or I shouldn't say, to Belmont Racetrack in New York. We'll be looking at races 9, 10, 11, and 12. I apologize. I did not pull up our weather. I figured we had a weatherman that was available for us. Ray, what do you say?
Okay. 2 days ago, I was wearing a mask outside. The air quality was 100, was 400. But tomorrow we're gonna have nice blue skies. It's gonna be 80 degrees tomorrow. So sunny, 80, looking nice. So that's a nice June day.
Thank you so much, Ray Torado, there on the ground from Staten Island, New York. We are turning our attention to Belmont Park, the last leg in the Triple Crown, the last gem, I guess you would say, in the Triple Crown. They're in Elmont, New York. We're going to go ahead and start off in race number 9. As you might imagine, this is Joe brought it up last week before we adjourned and things like that, and Ray has talked about it as well. This is one of the best race cars you will see all year long anywhere in America. So we're going to go ahead and start off with race number 9. You're going to hear a lot about grade ones. This is one of them. This is going 6 furlongs on the turf. It is the Jaipur Stakes, grade 1. Purse is $400,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upward. And your morning line favorite is in post number 12. He has made regular appearances on this show routinely. And his name is Caravel, trained by Brad Cox and ridden by Tyler Gaffleone. 3-1 on the morning line, which reflects how tough of a field this one is. And Mr. Torado, actually, you're going to kick us off because we're in your backyard. So, Ray Torado, you're going first.
All right, race 9. Jaipur to sprint. Oh yeah, this is if I remember correctly, this is where the world record has been set a few years back, 105 and something. So I'm not sure we're gonna get close to that because it'll be that hot, but it's gonna be a good race. I had trouble with this race. There's a lot of horses here. I'm in last place. I'm looking for some good prices. I'm gonna go with number 10, Big Invasion. Christopher Clement, Joe Rosario. A lot of speed this race. I'm hoping this horse can close. He's definitely a closer. Come late. First race, last time a little short for him. So Big Invasion will come flying down. Rosario's a good finisher, and every once in a while, I mean, last year he had a good did very well, 6 out of 8. So he got some back class there, and he likes to win. So last race, give him a little, pass there, a little prep, and he should be rolling home now. So I'll go Big Invasion. He's 6-1 for Joe Rosario. So who's next?
Oh, and you are going actually to your left. So
To
you're
my
heading off to
left.
you're heading off to Steve.
All right, Steve, you liking the Jaipur?
All right, all right. I like the 5, Dr. Zimpf. Fabian Pratt on board, Chad Brown trainer. Horse is 1-1 on the turf in 11 races. I think it's going to like the shorter distance. Has competitive speed. It's got the European turf horse coming west angle that so much, and it's 4 furlong workouts. So I'm gonna maybe get a decent price here with Dr. Zimpf.
Nice. And you're actually handing it off to me.
All right.
Yeah, interesting enough. Ray, sometimes the way that we handicap is strikingly similar. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
my initial pick was Casa Creed in this race, but my backup pick, because I swear to God I thought you would go with Casa Creed, Ray. Was the 10 was the 10 Big Invasion. So if I could show you my little betting slip, which is always here
Mm.
with us in here on the racetrack, something like that, I've got the 11 with the /10, so I can go back to the 11. I'm going to go with Casa Creed. He's trained by Belmont and ridden by Luis Saez. He's another one of those horses who has appeared on this show quite often, and he is, as you can see right here, he's the defending champion. So he won the Jaipur Stakes last year. Came right back out of that, won the 4-star Dave at Saratoga, so kind of started off that summer series there in New York, and then hits a little bit of a bump there in Keeneland and at the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. He did get smoked, so to speak, there by Caravel, so he's already lost to Caravel once before, and then he goes overseas and he tries what is a big time money race in the Golden Shaheen, or the turf sprint that's presented there, that's over there in Saudi Arabia. And this is his first return back since February 23. So he's been off for a few months. Belmont has a decent record with horses that have been around in that time frame. He's got Luis Saez aboard. I decided to go ahead and go with Casa Creed since Ray went with Big Invasion. And I'm going to give it to Joe for the final leg.
Oh, goody. I'm actually going to get my first choice. Ray, I'm disappointed. You said you go for a price 6-1. Come on, man. Step it up a little bit.
Show
Hey,
something.
it's $15. I'll
You
use
go
it.
for a price, and the horse is only like the third choice at 6-1. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Step it up. Give me the 2 for the king of turf sprinters in this country, Wesley Ward, the trainer Wesley Ward. Go Bears, go. He was transferred to Ward for this year after being, running a disappointing 12th, as Rich mentioned, behind Caravel. But he actually, this is his last race in the turf sprint on Derby Day. Was his first race at 4 years old. First time he was really attracting against horses his own age. Obviously, he was a 3-year-old last year when he was running in the Breeders' Cup, but he ran a lot better on that day. And 4-year-olds can mature and can come along and run huge races, and I'm hoping that maybe he can pick up some momentum from that third place finish behind No Balls on Kentucky Derby undercard. And I'll give Jose Ortiz credit. He's had a resurgence back at Belmont. He's only 17% for the year, but he's been 27% at this meet, and he actually won 3 races today. So if I'm going to take a price horse, which I probably need, because like Rich was saying, I'm like $40 behind Steve. I'm going to take somebody who's at least double digits. So and I expect to get it with Caravel in the field, and I expect the speed duel between her and Nothing Better. If one of the 2 scratches, then this pick may not be all that great. But I'm going to take the 2. Go Bears, go.
Bears, go.
And I'm also disappointed because Caravel was supposed to run it at Ascot. I don't know if she runs tomorrow, if that means she won't run at Ascot. But
That was the rumor, was that she was going to run Ascot.
Yeah, that after she won last race, she had won. Idea was at least that's what I had heard. She was going to end up at Ascot, but unless she scratches tomorrow, yes.
Okay, here we go. We're going to move into race number 10. This is one of the premier races for any level at throughout the year. Race number 10 is going 1 mile on the main surface. Of course, here at Belmont Track, 1 mile is just 1 turn. This is the Hillendale Metropolitan Handicap, or the Met Mile. Grade 1, purse is $1 million, and it's a handicap for 3-year-olds and upward, and you don't have to look very far for your morning line favorite. He's right there in post number 1. Cody's Wish, trained by Belmont and ridden by Junior Alvarado, is 7-5 on the Belmont Park morning line. And Steve, you are up first in the Met Mile.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the 7, Repo Rocks. Not too familiar with the job trainer, but here, but they're familiar with one at 14%, with 71 races there. Also, the trainers graded stakes, winning at 25% in 12 races. Horses got a couple of wins at the distance in 3 races, and there's also Belmont Park won his last race here. Won 6 out of or 5 out of the last 6 races, and has real competitive figures in strung together some impressive 4 furlong workout down there. So I'm going to go with Repo Rocks at here. Rich.
Did anyone have trouble hearing Steve during that broadcast, or was it just me?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. He
A,
was,
li-
yeah.
a little bit choppy.
Okay, I'll speak up next time. I'll
No,
talk
I
a little
think
louder.
no, I think it was maybe the intermission, the
Yeah,
intermittent connection, maybe.
It wasn't your volume.
It was near volume.
No.
It was like a choppiness,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
almost
Gotcha.
like your voice was breaking in and out. This one really prevents it. This is tough for me. Cody's Wish is going to win this race. As you can see, he's owned by Godolphin and trained by Belmont and Junior Alvarado. This is always my pick on this show. I'm a big Godolphin fan, and Cody's Wish, in addition to being the best horse at this category at this age and things like that, he also has a sentimental choice. That being said, I'm trying to chase down Steve, and I've only got really 4 more tournaments to go, which is 16 races. I need something to kind of draw me in, and as long as Steve is going in front of me tonight, and I can see that he did not go with Cody's Wish, I can also not go with Cody's Wish, which allows me to go ahead and go with my number 3. I actually would probably offer a few of my dollars to any of the other players in this race. Do you guys actually know? What is Dr. Shivel's real name, or what do you guys all actually know him by his real name as? No Spider-Man fans on this show besides me? No superhero guys?
No.
Dr. Shivel is that's Mr. Freeze, you guys.
Oh,
Mr. Freeze was this. I thought
Mr.
Mr.
Freeze
Freeze
was
was
Batman, right?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Mr. Freeze was Batman, not Spider-Man.
Mr. Freeze is Bat. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, Batman.
Yeah.
There you go.
I remember
No,
Arnold
yeah.
Schwarzenegger played
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, Dr. Shivel is actually is his real superhero name would be Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and go this way. I'll go with the 10-1 shot. He's trained by Mark Latt and ridden by Arad Ortiz, and previously trained by Luis Mendez. The horse came out originally back all the way back in 2021, and looked like a world beater, and then headed to the sidelines after a poor performance. Really at the Malibu in December of 2021, and then followed that up with a good performance, but not good enough to win there at the Golden Shaheen. And then we hadn't seen him for a year, and then he came back in May of 2020, just here in May of 2023, won by 4 1/4 lengths. Looked like him old cells. Admittedly, a 3-horse field. Not really being tested at that point in time, but needing the points or needing the dollars, I guess, to catch up to Steve, instead of trying to crawl back in with Cody's Wish, who I truly believe is going to win this race. I'll go ahead and go for the horse who I think has a shot to go ahead and finish second, and I'll go with Mr. Freeze, or as we know him, Dr. Scheibel. Joe, what do you think? You got a superhero in this race?
Well, it's funny, Rich.
Or a super villain?
I wrote my notes say I'm rooting for Cody's Wish, but given the standings, I can't pick him either. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. Even if Steve didn't pick him, there's nothing I can see is going to make me pick Cody's Wish, even though I think he's going to win. And I ended up on the same horse as you. He could have easily won the Breeders' Cup Sprint 21, lost to Aloha Wish by a nose in a race that actually helped me win the contest in 2021.
Sure, of it.
He is a 2-time Grade 1 winner, and the only problem I see, and I know it's not necessarily quote unquote a problem, but I don't see getting 10-1 with Irad Ortiz. No chance. I'm sorry.
That's a good point.
Right.
You're probably looking at 6. I would say he's likely to be post second choice. So 6-1, 9-2, 5-1, something in that range. I think is going to happen again, only because I read it. On his best day, he's probably capable, and if something were to happen, he could absolutely win. But again, like I said, I can't take Cody's Wish. I'm rooting for Cody's Wish, but Irad will take money. Not getting 10 to 1. Ray.
Yeah, me too. I'm rooting for Cody's Wish. There's a lot of sentiment there. Good horse, great miler, 6 out of 6. You know, but like you said, the price ain't there. So, um, I'm gonna go with number 5, Charge It. He
Yeah.
he seems to have found a little niche on one-turn miles. He's won a few of them by some open lengths, some good times. He looks like he can go 109 and something, just keep going. So that could be advantageous in this race because there's some speed, but at the top of the stretch when you open up that far turn, all the closers may come. They may not be able to get you. So I'm gonna trust that John can go out there and set a fast pace and just try and hold on to the closers. That happens a lot in one-turn miles.
Mhm.
What I've seen in the past. So I'm hoping 6 to 1 is not a good price. So just looking for winners at a decent price. I only got to pick a 20 and one shot as who win once a month. Try to get one big score. So I'm just gonna try and chop away here, try and pick some winners, and hopefully charge it could be the one. So it's a great race, the Met Mile, a lot of history, and it should be the Memorial Day race, but now they stacked everything up in Belmont Stakes Day. So charge it for me, Pletcher, and Johnny B, like the old days.
Right. One second. Oh, hello, everybody. Uh,
You're muted.
Is Rich talking?
I don't know. He's muted.
Oh,
Who? Oh, yeah, Rich is muted.
Can't hear you, Rich.
yeah, I'm sorry about that. Can you guys hear me now?
there we go.
Yep.
I can hear you guys. Can you guys see Steve?
We don't see Steve, no.
I don't.
Yeah,
Heard him.
I stopped seeing. I
I
stopped
can see
seeing.
me.
Well, we can't see you.
Huh.
Oh, they're pulling the plug by your house.
Yeah,
Oh. Go outside and
Right.
tell the construction man to
yeah.
plug that plug back in.
All right, there's you guys.
No, no, nobody works. Nobody works. No
I
construction workers work
yeah.
out here at night.
Here's your picks from race number
They
10.
don't
So I
have the
just
light, the spotlight out
I,
there.
I have those in, and let's go ahead and we'll move along from the sins and the nonsense, and at least we can hear Steve. All right,
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
race number 11 at Belmont Park, and they are going a mile and a quarter on the inner turf. This is the Resorts World Casino Manhattan Stakes. It's a Grade 1. Purse is $750,000 for 4-year-olds and upward. And your morning line favorite is in post number 8, excuse me, and that is Up to the Mark, trained by Todd Pletcher and ridden by Irad Ortiz, is 8 to 5 on the Belmont Park morning line. And oh, look at that! I'm just going to go ahead and keep on talking and tell you this race kind of tore me apart because I had two horses and they're right next to each other. So the 3 and the 4 are both by Godolphin. One is owned by Godolphin, bred by Godolphin, and the sire is Dubawi. And the other one is owned by Godolphin and bred by someone else. And See the Stars is in there. One's 5 to 2, the other one's 5 to 1. They are Warren's Point and Ottoman Fleet. I ended up settling on the 3. I don't know if I flipped the coin, but they're both trained by the same trainer, Charlie Appleby. He sent them both over. This horse here, he was favored in the Man of War. So he has a try here at Belmont, going a little bit longer than this, a mile and 3/8. This race today will technically be a mile and 2/8, so it's a little bit of an eighth of a mile shorter. And if you look here, I don't have my tools up, but let me make sure I've got this on here like that. Maybe at about a mile and 2/8 in the Man of War, Warren's Point was ahead. But I understand this is a different race, different cast of characters. Um, I do like those European horses that come over on the turf. This horse looked like he had a definite shot at winning the Man of War. If you watched our or did not watch our broadcast now when we missed that week, but this was my pick for that particular race because he was the favorite that day. I'm going to go ahead and go with the beaten favorite. Richard Mullen is the jockey on this horse. So for Warren Point, he is the jockey. If you look down here, Richard Mullen was the jockey on Ottoman Fleet, the other Charlie Appleby horse. However, it's not like he's got a slouch here. Will Buick or William Buick has stepped in and will be riding the horse. He's one of the top jockeys, and he has ridden Ottoman Fleet quite a bit before. So almost a coin flip for me. I ended up going with the 3, but to show you how torn I was, again on my little slip of paper here, I have 3/4, as if someone could pick before me, even though I get to make the order. So I'm going to go ahead and hand off to Joe.
Well, I think I have a feeling I'm going to steal somebody's pick right here. I'm taking the 9-year-old gelding number 6, Red Knight. The form, he's just been amazing that he continues to keep this form at age 9. 5 for 11 over this oval, and that includes 2 for 2 at this distance. And I expect that he's actually going to float up because this is the Irad Ortiz off angle. Obviously, I mean, the people in the know who Tyler Gaffalione is, but this is a New York crowd. There will be a lot more New York people, and they're going to say, oh, Irad Ortiz off. Okay, we're going to go in another direction. We'll go with up to the mark, and he'll be pounded down to 6 to 5. Whereas I think Red Knight will end up somewhere in the 10 to 12 to 1 range. So I'm going to take the closer. I'll take one of the local hopes, and I'll take the old guy. Give me the 9-year-old Red Knight. Ray.
We have a lot of familiar faces here, as usual, in these tough races.
Mm-hmm.
They're like our uncles and cousins, boy. I tell you. Um, I mean, I've won with Rock Emperor, won with Red Knight, all these horses. So, um, I'm gonna go with number 5, Soldier Rising, 12 to 1, Jose Ortiz. Um, this horse is he's in and out. Runs some good races, bad races, bad trips sometimes. But I'm just hoping that this is the day for him. Soldier Riding, Clement, sometimes they last race was good, so maybe you can improve off of that. That's what I look for. Improvement and just taking a shot. Just Soldier Rising. Jose Ortiz, like you said, has been rejuvenated, had a good day today. So no, he's back in good form, and no, he's trying to catch his brother with the wins. But they're riding well, so they know Belmont, so I'll take a shot at a good price. Soldier Rising for me. Steve?
Yeah, actually, that's the same horse I was on. So,
Salute!
There we go.
All right.
yeah. I just see this horse maybe taking a step forward here and improving and maybe getting back to the speed figure he was running in last year. So, and if so, then that should be good enough to at least get second, if not win.
Mm-hmm.
And we all love Michael Dove for what he does to the sport. He's a great contributor, great owner. Wins a lot of races too. So Hope I see him and buy me a drink.
I was gonna say.
I plug you, Michael Dub.
All right.
I gotta wear my racehorse hat, huh?
We're gonna move along to the feature.
Oh,
This is the final gem or the final leg of the Triple Crown, if you like. It is race number 12, and they're going 1.5 miles on the main track. It is the Belmont Stakes, presented by Naira, or Naira Bets, excuse me. Grade 1, purse is $1.5 million. It's for 3-year-olds only. And your morning line favorite is in post number 6. He was the favorite in the Kentucky Derby before he had to pull out. Trained by Todd Pletcher and ridden by Irad Ortiz. Forte, 5-2 on the Belmont Park morning line. We're going to hand it off. We're going to give it to the other New Yorker on this show. Joe, you get to kick off the Belmont Stakes. Who do you like?
Great. Like I said before we started, I got very close to taking a trainer that I obviously have some disdain for, but I decided against it at the last minute. I was actually looking for a price. Unfortunately, I couldn't find anything that really caught my eye. So I'm going to go back to the horse that actually, he's only run one bad race. That was the race he ran on turf at Kentucky Downs when he was 2-year-old. That's the 8th Angel of Empire. He's coming out of the best race. He's third in the Derby. None of the other Derby horses have made it this far. My biggest concern is that the and Ray will know who To Honor and Serve is. To Honor and Serve is the dam sire of this horse, and I just have some kind of trouble thinking that a horse out of a mare who's out of Honor and Serve going to get 12 furlongs and actually win a race.
Mm.
But I'm going to take the chance that he's going to be a little closer to the pace. He's got blinkers on tomorrow. He's going to be the third choice in this race. Again, he's coming out of the best race, best figure, third in the Kentucky Derby. He's had enough time off. He's had more time off to recover than National Treasure. So I'm going to take a chance. Again, 7-2 is not much of a price. But again, if he's the third choice, what do you get? 940, 460, you get $14. That would probably help as long as he can make up some ground on Steve. So give me the 8. Give me Angel of Empire. My own.
I mean, oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Normally, I mean, this. First of all, I want to congratulate at least the puncher from Forte, at least making the race. But I'm likely favorite, great horse down the road, but I don't think that'll be his day tomorrow. Unfortunately, I mean, going 12 furlongs off a 9-week layoff, I have trouble handling that. So, but I wish them luck, going forward. They should have had prep race, but that's how they want it to go. So, um, I don't know. I had trouble with this race. Some horses I wanted to play here, and the price didn't, strike me. As far as for the tournament, I'm just gonna go on a limb here and go with number 7, Hit Show. Manny Franco, Brad Cox. He's not a bad horse. He struggled in the Derby. Um, he's one of those horses with a long shot, but came in 5th, so didn't want so bad. He was 4th at the top of the stretch. He was in the race, battling, and my only, thing that he got beat by 81 short of the load miles in the wood. But this horse was learning, and he won a few races before, so I'll go hit show. Hopefully, he can get the distance. Can he ride? He can, run until the dam is out of the tappet. So they have look like the distance there. So they freshen him up, and Brad Cox has a whole lot of 3-year-olds here. So he's just throwing this one in there, and they got running against each other. So it'll be hit show for me. Um, you know, I did like Red Route 1, but if there's any horse that wants a mile and a half, it's this one. But the pace may not just not suit him. So, but I'll stick with Hit Show. All right, Steve.
Yeah. So sorry to do this to you, Joe, but I'm on Angel of Empire myself in this one. All the same reasons. It looks like he's still ran a great race at the Kentucky Derby. And I finished third. Kind of took the long way around, but but yeah, I think Angel of Empires might take a little leap forward here and be able to take this race. So I'm going to go with the 8.
And strange enough, I'm actually going back to my Kentucky Derby horse. I heard Angel of Empire got called out a couple times there, and my Kentucky Derby horse was Tappet Thrice. Tappet is a very successful sire actually for the Belmont Stakes. He was a big horse himself. This race lends itself to being the bigger, longer endurance race. And Tappet Thrice, as you see there, he came in on a 4-race winning streak into the Kentucky Derby. Did not have the best trip. Obviously, in the Kentucky Derby, that happens a lot. That's not an unusual occurrence there in the Derby and things like that. I'm always willing to go ahead and scratch a line through that one. This one should be a better test of Tappet Thrice. Again, his sire Tappet, several of his prodigy have won the Belmont Stakes. He's not an unsuccessful sire at the Belmont Stakes, and he was kind of on the uprise all the way up until that Kentucky Derby performance. I think he can take Angel of Empire there in that last basically quarter of a mile that he gets to shoot at him here in the Belmont Stakes versus the Kentucky Derby. And so I went with the 2, Tappet Thrice, and I'm not surprised to see that a couple of us went with our Kentucky Derby picks as they came back into focus here for the Belmont Stakes after skipping the Preakness. Let's go ahead and pop those in for you guys, and we'll put Joe in for 8.
Yeah, I like Angel of Empire too.
I thought that was a solid
Most likely
situation.
winner. Yeah, he's in good form. He's gonna. Yeah. The
All
way he
right,
was
guys.
coming. I actually had my horse in Derby too.
All right. Take a look at your picks there. Make sure I got everything in before we lock them in.
We're good.
Okay. 3, 2.
All right.
All right. Let me go ahead and come on back to you guys. We'll go ahead and wrap this one up. All right, folks. For those of you who are staying tuned and hung in there throughout the entire show, that's how we do it. That's how we make the sausage here on Tournament Horse Racing on a weekly basis. Everybody goes in and makes their picks. If there's any scratches tomorrow or anything comes up like that, we just go ahead and text each other, go ahead and correct our picks to make sure the tournament stays live, and that's how it's done. Gentlemen, any thoughts here? This is the last race of the Triple Crown Series, 3rd year of Tournament Horse Racing. We've done, as I said, 9 of these Triple Crown races. Anybody got any thoughts?
I do. Actually, I get a gut feeling that Tappet Thrice makes favorite. Seems as if anybody in the know is picking Tappet Thrice on that. That's the case, and the money shows that way.
Can I say? All right. Well, for Steve Newsom and for Ray Torado and Joe English, my name is Rich Sharp. Our show is called Tournament Horse Racing. This was our final leg of the Triple Crown. Thank you for joining us for all 3 legs. If you hung in there with us through all 3 legs, we will be back next week. We've got just a couple of legs left in this tournament. I'm trying to remember what. Hold on one second before I wrap this up. I'll do a quick preview. We are back next week. Oh, God. Monmouth Park for the Monmouth Stakes and the Salvatore Mile. And then we'll come back for Belmont and Churchill, which I'm sure will now be at Ellis Park. Again, Rich Sharp, Joe English, Steve Newsom, Ray Torado. Show's called Tournament Horse Racing. We'll see you all next week. Thanks, everybody. Good night. Good luck.
Peace out.
Wish me luck on the Belt Parkway going home.